Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our World Prematurity Day Toolkit 4th Birthday and Essay Winners webinar. Welcome. Please introduce yourself in the chat. Bienvenue. Please introduce yourself in the chat. Happy World Prematurity Day. Next slide, please. Welcome once again to our Newborn Toolkit webinar and our special Newborn Toolkit World Prematurity Day webinar. The Newborn Toolkit is an online community platform that aims to move faster together for multi-country, multilingual learning for high-quality small and sick newborn care. We promote the national targets for newborn survival that cannot be met without small and sick newborn care. We had over 55,000 unique users in 2024 from 170 countries, and it's all thanks to a global community of users and healthcare workers who make use of the toolkit and promote their settings. And we'll hear more about the toolkit as the webinar goes on. Welcome once again. Please introduce yourself in the chat. Next slide, please. Welcome once again to our Newborn Toolkit special Newborn Toolkit webinar and World Prematurity Day webinar. My name is Dr. Mbozu Sipalo. I'm one of the co-leads of the Newborn Toolkit and also a clinical research fellow. Welcome once again. This webinar is to celebrate the wins of the year and also to meet our Newborn Toolkit webinars for World Prematurity Day. On the screen now, you see our QR codes for the newsletter in French, the newsletter in English, and our socials on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Next slide, please. We have more webinars this year, more exciting webinars. Our last webinar of the year is on infrastructure, which is a very important topic as we scale up small sick newborn care in LMIC settings. So the topic for the next webinar on 2nd December is to refurb or rebuild practicalities and costs, which is of course a big question for many. And of course, we have more webinars in 2026 for bilateral for all of us to learn together. And we welcome you all to input so we learn together to move faster together. And now I'll hand over to my amazing colleague, Lauren. Next slide, please, to take us through the next bits of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Donc, bonjour et bienvenue à tous nos participants parlant en français. Si vous voulez écouter le webinaire en français, s'il vous plaît, cliquez sur le bouton de traduction affiché sur le bas du menu de Zoom. Je vais aussi partager qu'on a un webinaire à venir le 2e décembre sur l'infrastructure, rénover ou reconstruire avec les aspects pratiques et l'écoute. Alors, bienvenue. Next slide, please. So next, I will hand over to the lovely Tasmin Bota. One more slide, please. So Tasmin is the founder and executive director of Premie Connect, based in South Africa. She's the parent representative for GLANCE, the Global Alliance for Newborn Care. And we're very excited to have her here, as she was also the winner of the 2024 Newborn Toolkit Essay Contest. So it's lovely to have her here today to lead us through the webinar.
Thank you so much, Lauren. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Welcome everybody from across the globe. It's such an important occasion for us. We have just celebrated World Prematurity Day, which is one of the biggest ones on the calendar in the newborn health space. So thank you guys all for taking out the time. I see lots of people in the comments that are here with us. So thank you so much. Next slide, please. And of course, the Newborn Toolkit is 4 years old, guys. I think it's so amazing to watch how the toolkit is growing. The information that is on there is invaluable. And we are so happy that we have so many stakeholders who have come together to make this Newborn Toolkit possible for all of us. So happy birthday. Next slide, please. Okay, so like I said earlier, World Prematurity Day was yesterday, and we have some great, great news. This year was the first year that we have been added to the World Health Organization's official day. Next slide, please. And it marks the beginning, I think, of continuing a wonderful journey in the Premie space. I am so honored that my fellow colleague was the one who had an instrumental part in making this happen. Next slide, please. The wonderful Doris Mollel. She is the founder of the Doris Mollel Foundation. She is from Tanzania. She is a preterm survivor, parent of a preterm, a former beauty queen, the proposer, as I said earlier, for World Prematurity Day becoming an official WU recognized day. She's an entrepreneur, a successful fundraiser for neonatal care, an author. I think her bio just goes on and on and on. It is such an honor to have her share with us some wonderful takeaways.
Hello, everyone. My name is Doris Mollel. I'm the founder and executive director for the Doris Mollel Foundation, a nonprofit that worked a decade to change lives, change policies, you name it. I'm here celebrating and commemorating with you all the World Prematurity Day. Happy World Prematurity Day, everyone listening and watching here from Tanzania. Speaking from my personal experience, to be very honest, I'm very much proud of the Doris Mollel Foundation. It has been the organization that has really been leading and changing narrative. From the Born Too Soon report in 2012, that has been a stepping stone of how we should be doing things right, to a decade edition, how things were. Tracking down the progress, Doris Mollel Foundation has managed to work with the government to amend policies, the amendment of the paid parental leave law, favoring mothers with more than 6 months to take care of the small and sick newborn babies. That was not easy. Incorporated preterm knowledge into science and biology subjects in our country. Hey, it was never easy. Again, on top of that, insurances for small and sick newborn babies. Before our intervention, parents were going in pockets, and babies were really going through a lot of trauma as parents were seeing it, because the medical bills were supposed to be paid in pockets. But thanks to the intervention that Doris Mollel Foundation worked with the insurances, the health insurances in Tanzania, now parents don't have to go in pockets. Once you have an insurance, you are certain that your baby will be fully covered and paid by your insurance. Well, above all, I'm very proud of the incorporation of the World Prematurity Day in the WHO calendar. Many thanks to the executive director for the World Health Organization. Many thanks to Dr. Tedros Adhanom and the whole of the World Health Organization, with many partners that we work together. I mean, the World Prematurity Day, speaking from a personal experience, it started to be commemorated by affected families. Very proud of the initiator of this day, Dr. Silky, who managed to gather good information that others would follow. But again, many patients were going through risks, challenges. They didn't know where to read, where to ask. How do we even get to remember this important day and ask our governments to be accountable for the death, accountable for not having the right data, accountable 360 in the whole investment of care. So I'm truly grateful that the foundation has led and pushed other countries through our Ministry of Health. We're very proud that we have worked very closely with other organizations. We've worked very closely with the WHO to have this day recognized officially in the WHO calendar. But what does this mean to us? This means that we would like to see countries putting up an investment plan for small and sick newborn babies, an investment that will look into the health workers, that will look into equipping, infrastructure, just making sure the community really fully understand about this challenge, not thinking about it's a witchcraft or anything to do with the wife, problems that are really not biological. I mean, for African countries, we're expecting even most investment of care. So I'm here as a global champion for maternal and newborn care, calling up all partners, calling up countries, global leaders to kindly invest in small and sick newborn babies. Invest 360, infrastructure, health workers, equipment, making sure that every baby's life is saved. But of course, not forgetting, we need to follow up on this baby so that they not only survive, but they thrive. That's the role of us surviving in this continent. We need to see a good, well-being human capital that will be fruitful to the country, contribute to the GDP. That's why we are all here. Pediatricians, nurses, doctors, professors. We want to see more research on small and sick newborn babies. We want to see more research on how do we best continue to support the care of the small and sick newborn babies. We need your data. We need your research. For the global health leaders, this is the time where we need to wake up. Prematurity is one of the leading causes of death for newborn under 5. So why should we still keep quiet? We need to stand up. We need to get in our feet and make sure we account for and we push for and we advocate for every leader in the country, in this world, to have a budget for small and sick newborn babies. Let's budget for neonatal care. Let's budget for a better care, affordable and accessible for everyone in our respective countries. As a global champion, I would wish to see this happen in the world. That's why we, Doris Mollel Foundation, stood up, fought up, and we made sure that we continue pushing other countries to support the incorporation of the World Prematurity Day in WHO calendar, expecting that now this is a flag. Now this is a powerful message to the community that we need to change our policies and look into how best our policies can accommodate parents with this challenge. We need to look to our health insurances. We need to look to our health budgets. We need to look to our health insurances, whether have a private insurance company, whether in the government insurance. We need a better care for every small and sick newborn baby, not just in Tanzania, not just in Africa. We want it done for the world.
Wow, wow, wow. I have goosebumps. My eyes are welling up with tears because Doris pointed out some crucial facts. And my takeaway was that multi-stakeholder collaborations are necessary from the ground up in order to ensure that preterm babies not only survive, but thrive, because she's right, they grow up to be adults that are contributing to society. But if we let them fall to the wayside, what kind of quality of life will these children have? What kind of quality world will we have? Because they have to grow up. And the fact that the key message and the slogan for World Prematurity Day 2025 was give preterm babies a strong start so that they can have a brighter future. And I think, Doris, you nailed it on the head by everything that you said. And we have to come together. Now is the time. Now is the time for us to collaborate. Now is the time for us to stand up and say, no more. We don't want prematurity to be the leading cause for newborn deaths. Next slide, please. We are going to move on to, and I'm always fangirling when I get to see her, Professor Joy Lawn. She works for the London School of Health and Topical Management. She works at NEST360 and EWENE. She's a pediatric and neonatal clinician and perinatal epidemiologist. Epidemiologist with 30 years experience, notably in sub-Saharan Africa. Thank you, Professor Joy Lawn.
And thank you, Tasmin. And just so delighted that this World Prematurity Day webinar is hosted by a parent, because that's what it's about. And I want to just start by, as we reflect back on this year, it would be hard to think of 2025 without thinking of bad news. You know, here we are. There are more conflicts, including in unexpected places. I'm talking to you from Dar es Salaam today, and wonderful to see others in Tanzania here on this call. In this year, we've also seen climate change, not just in terms of new data, but in terms of reality on the ground with disasters. We've seen shifts in geopolitical directions and big effects on rights for women and children around the world. And we saw dramatic cuts in donor funding at the beginning of the year. So as we hit this celebration for World Prematurity Day, looking back on the year, it doesn't look like a good one. But I want to say to you that we're at a tipping point. And if you click the animation there, we're at a tipping point for newborns. Despite this bad year, there are 4 very happy headlines, 4 for our 4th birthday, that give us ingredients for change. So if we can go to the next slide. And the first one is what you've just been hearing from Tasmin as our fantastic host, from Doris, who's a real powerhouse of a woman for change, parent power. So if we look at this slide, this is Doris with the Director General of WHO, having this day made an official day. And what that shows us is finally we are on global agendas after 20 years of the newborn being newborn. And there have been key moments in that journey. But this year, with World Prematurity Day becoming an official day, with the World Health Assembly having their World Health Day be about maternal and newborn, and this fantastic theme for World Prematurity Day, which links to the World Health Day theme for the whole year. And then if you click on the next animation, so exciting all around the world to see things going purple. So from Budapest, and I see that wonderful Liv is on this call, through to Tokyo. And if you click on the next slide, my own one that made my heart lift yesterday was Uganda having their first time to have a landmark go purple. This is Ginger Bridge last night, and huge shout out to anyone from Uganda on this call. So going purple is one thing. It shows the power of parents, it shows survivors, it shows voice, but going purple isn't enough. So if we go to the next slide, really want to say how exciting it is to have EFCNI, what was European focused, go global this year. It is a landmark good news in 2025. There are now parent activities in more than 100 countries. And this is a picture of some of the key team, and really want to shout out to another powerhouse woman. We heard from Doris, but also Silky Mada, who was noted by many, has really mobilized. And I would say that mobilizing to go purple and advocacy is one thing, but really important to use that to pull levers for change. So this figure that you can see on the right shows that GFCNI stands for making quality of newborn care, linking to the maternal and the child follow-up, and really concrete asks, including more money. We heard Doris echo that every country should have a budget line for improving neonatal care, very much linked to maternal and to child. So if we go to the next slide, that's parent power. We also have had big shifts for professional associations this year. So we know, and as someone who worked in neonatal care in the UK, did my training there in neonatal training, and also have worked in East, West and Southern Africa, that the cornerstone of neonatal clinical care is nurses, that we lack numbers and we need to change that. WHO ratios will come out shortly, and we need to use these to advocate to close gaps. Skills, so there are many more training courses, and I was so excited at the weekend to meet a neonatal nurse trainer from Ethiopia. I didn't realize there were 6 colleges running neonatal nurse training in Ethiopia. So this is coming. Bedside training is also improving. And the voice of collective organizations, and really a big shout out to COIN, who we often partner with here on the Toolkit. And if you click the next animation, we also do need doctors, and we need them at all levels of skill. And so excited to see more pediatricians, increasing number of neonatologists across these countries, increasing recognition of the skill needed. And this is also led by wonderful organizations, IPA, that has more than 1 million members, and the newly formed Africa Neonatal Association. We're so excited later on in this to have their wonderful new president, Dr. Jean-Baptiste, join us. So if you just click, I also want to underline that one of the things that I've learned so profoundly, and I think all of us know, is that neonatal care depends on a team with the family at the center. And our essay winners really exemplify that we also need, as well as the clinicians, we need the biomeds and the systems change and data people. So if we go to the next slide, that's the parents, the professionals, but what we seek most of all is to see progress for newborn survival and also thriving in our countries. And how to do that is actually to learn from those who are running fastest. So we often compete. I don't know who of you here are runners, but we're going to have to go so much faster to make progress for newborn survival. So what this table shows is 200 countries of the world, and we are making progress. None are in this phase 1, very high mortality. Only 12 are left in this next phase 2, and almost all are facing conflict. And then if we look at the phase 3 here, this is where most of the countries of the world and the vast majority of births are. But to get to phase 4, which is where the SDG targets lie for neonatal, but also for stillbirths and for maternal, we need to get up speed. And in phase 4 and phase 5, we have neonatal intensive care, but phase 3, what we need is improved quality of maternity care and small and sick newborn care. This is the focus of this toolkit, the focus of the UN and what's needed to get to 12. So if we go to the next slide, let's look at a country that has really picked up speed. China is the fastest in the world, but India has doubled their speed over the last 10 years. And this is the secret. If you look at this chart, they've gone from having a small number of neonatal units, small and sick newborn care. So there they call them special newborn care units, SNCUs. And they now have more than 1,000. And that has come through government investment at all levels. It's not relying on donors, and this is an important message to all of the countries that can do this. And really important to see that just building the unit and putting staff in it and ingredients may not change things. What is really changing things across India is also use of data, this individual level neonatal data set. And we have many webinars looking at learning from India on the investment, on the data, on their follow-up systems. So please do look those up on the toolkit. So if we go to the next slide, for many of us, we really yearn to have good news across Africa too. So it was just super exciting last week, the meeting of the NEST360 Alliance with about 150 people in Nairobi, of this group of 5 countries. And important learning, again, it's important to change the space, to have the nurses and the training, to put the devices there. Those are necessary but not sufficient. What has really pulled the lever for mortality change is data. And if we click on the animation, very excited to share with you really significant, statistically significant, major reduction in neonatal mortality in Malawi. And you can get this interim mortality on the website with NEST, and more will be coming next year. And this really gives us hope for going faster across Africa as well. So I want to land with the last of the happy headlines, if you go to the next slide. And that is that we need partnerships. We have lots of different tools to use, and that's the whole point of this toolkit. We don't need to start from scratch. There are many tools. Yesterday, we had the exciting launch led by WHO of this new WHO KMC implementation guide, a really great webinar. Please do use that, and we will be highlighting it on the toolkit, linked to the action pathway here and with other practical tools. We also have lots of different tools. Maybe a new one to highlight is the CPAP training course, led by a wonderful team across 5 countries, linked to NEST, where you can get certificates and CPD numbers. And you'll be hearing more about this in a second. But I really encourage all of us, instead of starting from scratch, look and see what's here. Share it, share your tools. And if we go to the very last slide, these are the 4 happy headlines put together. Parent power, which is so critical and is the way to pull that bigger societal movement for change, like the ambitious change we saw for HIV. We need that also for newborns, and sometimes we're too nice, and it's parents who really have the right and need the voice to stand up. Professional organizations, progress across countries, and how do we learn together, and these partnerships and products for use. So thank you all. Please use these to help us go faster together. Despite the bad news, there's good news for change. And I pass back to the wonderful Tasmin and then on into our 4th birthday celebrations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. That was amazing, amazing to see. Yes, that through the doom and gloom, we are seeing change. 4 years, 4 happy headlines. I absolutely loved it. I loved what you said, that going purple is not enough, right? And we can't just dedicate one day to saving newborns and their mothers. I love the fact that GFC&I has gone global. It has been a long work in progress. So I'm so, so proud of Silky and all our parents and patient representatives. But also the fact that we have to improve maternity and neonatal care right now. And I love to see how countries where you would think it would not be possible are making the impossible possible. I absolutely love that. So to continue the birthday celebrations for the Newborn Toolkit, if you'll please change to the next slide. I am excited to hand over to Dr. Mbozu. She is a neonatal clinical researcher. We need that data, like Professor Joy Lawn was saying earlier. She is a knowledge management co-lead of the Newborn Toolkit. She's also part of the London School of Hygiene and Topical Medicine, NEST360. She's a clinical research fellow at St. George's University of London. Handing over to you now, Dr. Mbozu.
Thank you so much, Tasmin, and thank you for all the energy you're bringing into this webinar. I'm enjoying listening to you. Next slide, please. Happy birthday to the Toolkit, and also happy World Prematurity Day to all the newborn healthcare champions all over the world. I will take us through a bit of the Newborn Toolkit milestones. Next slide, please. But first, I'd like to highlight all the newborn care workers doing amazing things all over the world. If you see your country on the slide now, please do shout in the chat. There's an amazing purple bridge in Jinja, the Ethiopian beautiful mother, and of course, our giants of Africa doing big things, and highlighting Kenya, who launched the Kenya Newborn Investment Case in Murang'a County. So happy World Prematurity once again, and it's great to see everyone in Africa banding together for preterm babies and to highlight that there is need to profile them in the health space. Next slide, please. All right, so for the Newborn Toolkit users, the Newborn Toolkit community over time, just happy to announce and to share that we are steadily going up. And October to 2024 to October 2025 has had a steady increase, and happy to share that our community is growing thanks to everyone who always promotes and makes use of the toolkit, as it's a two-way platform. So we just want to share this happy announcement on World Prematurity Day, and we encourage everyone to continue making use of the toolkit. Next slide, please. So the 2025 milestones so far, like I've highlighted, we have had a steady increase this year, and we expect to exceed our stats from last year. Our tools continue growing, and clearly so, with everything that's being launched and shared in the global neonatal health space, and we'll be happy to add on to our repository of information through the great guidelines that are coming out, like the KMC one that was released by the WHO yesterday. This would be our, I believe, 12th webinar this year, and December would be the 13th one. We've had over 2,000 total viewers, and I want to just say big thank you for always joining us and sharing these learnings with everyone to promote cross-learnings and peer-to-peer learning. And this includes French and Spanish-led events. We've had Newborn Toolkit platform updates like the action pathway that Prof Joy happily shared. And also the Newborn Toolkit has been at global community events. And we would like this to continue, to have more Newborn Toolkit ambassadors the world over just sharing about this resource. So yes, the Newborn Toolkit is growing, no longer in the preterm stage, I believe, and it's all thanks to our community of users. Next slide, please. And this just highlights who is using the toolkit. So India, not surprising, is our top user. And I think this has been the theme for the past couple of years. And considering that it's one of the fast progressing countries when it comes to small sick newborn care, it's great to see that they are hungry for information. In addition to that, we have, of course, our NEST360 countries that are almost always on our top 10 community of users. So that's Kenya, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Malawi. And in addition to that, I think, Tasmin, you'd be happy to see South Africa there, and Uganda, who painted ginger purple, is on this list. As a Zambian, always happy to see Zambia on this list. And of course, Ghana is here as well. So that's just to say that there's many countries that are using the toolkit, and we love to see a little competition among the countries and to see who tops this list. So this is our 2025 list so far. Like I mentioned, we've had over 2,000 users, and also we do have the French-speaking community making use of the toolkit, and our 3 top users for 2024 are Congo, Rwanda, Dr. John, I hope you're happy to see this, and Cameroon. And we hope that this continues progressing as the year proceeds. So this basically just highlights the top 3 countries that use the webinar from October 24 to 2025. And if your country is on this list, please do shout in the chat box. We'd love to see that you're actually here in this webinar and part of the community via webinars as well. Next slide, please. All right, great. Now I'll hand over to Tasmin, and then who'll hand over to Lauren. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mbozu. I am so excited now to hand over to Lauren. She knows so much about this toolkit. Lauren is a neonatal nurse, knowledge management co-lead of the Newborn Toolkit, and she is our French lead. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thanks, Tasmin. Next slide, please. So we talked to some of the implementers of the Newborn Toolkit and asked to kind of capture what the Newborn Toolkit means to them. So the Newborn Toolkit is a supermarket for small and sick newborn care. This was shared by Robert Tilia, who is part of the NEST360 Alliance, QI lead based in Tanzania. And from Dr. Misandeni Shumi from the Ministry of Health. She said the Newborn Toolkit has the bits and pieces for what you need to make newborn care work. So the Newborn Toolkit has lots of content and resources, and we'll share a little bit of updates from 2025 and the work we've been up to. Next slide, please. So in 2025, we continued along with our action pathways. So these pathways were developed based on feedback from a lot of our community, that there's lots of tools available on the toolkit, but how do we know which ones to choose and when? So the pathways offer a simple stepwise approach to evidence implementation and link to relevant tools along the pathway. So some of the key topics that were requested included pain management and prevention, kangaroo mother care, which will be great to link to WHO guidelines as well, neonatal unit outbreak management, and something that's currently underway is looking at jaundice management, which will be launched towards the end of this year. So for future action pathways, we're looking at neonatal ward data and dashboards. So we see the importance of data in driving change and quality improvement on the units. And then linking to our next webinar next month. We're also exploring neonatal unit infrastructure, how to decide whether it should be refurbished or if we should rebuild. So looking at kind of allocation of resources. And we welcome feedback and inputs if there are topics that you think would be beneficial to the wider community and have sort of that guidance and stepwise approach, then we would love to work with you and other implementers in this space. Next slide, please. So also very exciting is sharing updates from the Newborn Toolkit in French. So some of the French-speaking contexts have the higher risks of neonatal mortality and often overlap with a lot of conflict settings. So this has been a target area for us to reach as well. It was launched in 2023 and it's continued to grow as well. So we have over 250 learnings, tools, and readings in French. All 10 of the webinars that the Newborn Toolkit hosted this year were also had bilingual translation in French. So you can see the webinar today as well is offered in French, thanks to our lovely translator, Beatrice. All 3 of the action pathways launched to date have also been translated to French. And the narrative content that's available on the website to support implementation is available in French. So we really want to try and reach more communities and get evidence implementation. Next slide, please. So now I'll pass over to Mbozu to talk a bit more about our community engagement initiatives.
Thank you, Lauren. Just a bit about our community engagement initiatives this year. We have continued with our flagship webinars that reflect the WHO health system building blocks. And you see on the screen now that we go through lots of important topics such as leadership in the hospital, newborn care in high-burden contexts, devices, kangaroo mother care, which had more than 300 live views and also has a lot of views on our YouTube channel. And we have had the topics such as nurses and also breastfeeding. So this is a 2026 success, and we want to say thank you to our key partners and our global community. Like I said earlier, we've had many viewers, and this does include French language-led events, like Lauren has said. Next slide, please. This just focuses also on all the topics that we've had this year, and we also had a very exciting launch of a partnership grant that links really well with the toolkit in terms of knowledge sharing, and just wanted to highlight that on this page as one of the key milestones of 2025. Next slide, please. And upcoming webinars, the infrastructure webinar next Tuesday. Please do join us if you can and share with your networks. Next slide, please. The Newborn Toolkit has been at global community events in 2025. We had a presence at the International Paediatric Association and also engaged with the MAMI group, and we're in Barbados with the World Pediatrics, and also, of course, we were at the first ever African Neonatal Association conference in Kigali and also COIN conference in Zambia. It has truly been an exciting year for neonatal health, the worldwide, and particularly in Africa, and we're happy to be part of that movement. Next slide, please. All right, so storytelling is the oldest form of education. Sharing is caring. So the Newborn Toolkit is also linked to a podcast called the Global Neonatal Podcast that I co-host with my amazing co-host, Dr. Shelley Ann Williams, a neonatologist based in the US. This was launched in 2024, and it aims to be a monthly series dedicating the remarkable work being done to improve neonatal care in resource-limited settings. We're in our second year this year, and are you someone with an inspiring neonatal story? Would love to interview you to share learnings and promote the impactful work you're doing to inspire connections globally. So you can scan the QR code on your screen now to learn more about the Global Neonatal Podcast and to link with more amazing neonatal champions world over. Next slide, please. So this just highlights the amazing neonatal champions that I had the pleasure to interview. A lot of them were key partners in the Toolkit webinars, and just great to see Tasmin also as one of the interviewed guests this year as a essay winner. And we would love to continue this momentum by sharing the work of impactful thought leaders in the neonatal health space. Next slide, please. All right, so the moment we've all been waiting for, and I'm very excited to hand over to Tasmin to introduce our essay winner announcer, Dr. John. Over to you, Tasmin.
Yes, the Newborn Toolkit is doing amazing work. As someone who took a deep dive into it last year, I was so impressed by all the gems that there are, and they continue to be on that toolkit. So guys, if you have not had an opportunity, I highly recommend that you go and see what the Newborn Toolkit is all about. I think it's going to be the leading tool that we need in order for our change to really come to fruition. But as Dr. Mbozu said, we are here for that moment that we have all been waiting for. And I'm going to hand over to Dr. John Baptiste, who is the newly elected ANA president. He's the director of medical services at King Faisal Hospital in Rwanda. He is a senior pediatric neonatologist and senior lecturer at the University of Rwanda. Welcome, Dr. John Baptiste.
Yeah. Thank you, Tasmin. Sounds going to read the most important occasion. So that's very honorable. So thank you so much all. It's really indeed a pleasure and a privilege that I am going to be co-hosting or presenting the most important part of this celebration. So congratulations, everybody. Happy premature day and happy anniversary for the toolkit. For us, or for myself, of course, on behalf of the African Neonatal Association, I have a feeling that the toolkit is going to be synonymous with the newborn care in the region, which is that positive. We are all getting used to it. We are all seeing it wherever we go, and we are all finding it as a source when we need to check out things into that. So congratulations to the team, congratulations to each and everyone. And I believe definitely it's part of what we need to do as African Neonatal Association. It's just providing tools to the professionals that needs them and how to use them. So thank you so much. I think I will take there. It's again an honor and a privilege. Next slide. All right. Yes, with that, again, wonderful experience. I don't know how to handle this, but I will try because this is the most important. I really encourage everybody to read through the essays that were written. They are very engaging. They are very pertinent. Please, whoever has not got the opportunity, join the essays and read through what these two amazing people we are talking about have done. With that, j'ai le plaisir encore de joindre tout le groupe, de féliciter Eriane Kiema, un pédiatre avec 4 ans d'expérience en néonatologie et dans la prise en charge de nouveau-nés malades et de petits pas de naissance, dont elle a presque 2 ans d'approche. Eriane, il fait 0 séparation avec Médecins sans frontières dans l'Espagne, point focal soins palliatifs néonatal. Quelque chose de spécial pour moi. Je n'ai pas beaucoup entendu d'expérience avec les soins palliatifs, mais c'est très important et c'est le plaisir. Elle est associée avec centres médicaux à antenne chirurgicale de Dafra à Bobo du Rasso. J'espère que j'ai bien annoncé ou bien prononcé. Donc, Franchement, félicitations, Ariane. Tu as bien fait. J'ai l'expérience de rire entre votre expérience et très plaisir d'annoncer votre présence au nom de Toolkit et au nom de African Neonatal Association. Félicitations encore. Next slide, please. Okay. Back to you, Tasmin.
Thank you so much, Dr. John. We are now going to play a video really quickly from our first winner.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Bouina Sidouma, ici infirmier en Neonatal, chef de l'AFRA.
Bonjour, je suis le docteur Eliade Kieman, je suis médecin pédiatre au centre médical de d'Afra à Bobo-Dioulasso, au Burkina Faso.
Le docteur Nawaloum Nogo, médecin généraliste en service en néonatologie du CMA de Dafra à Bobo-Dioulasso.
Le centre médical de Dafra bénéficie depuis 2022 de l'appui de Médecins sans frontières pour la mise en place de la zéro séparation en néonatologie, qui est une des dernières recommandations OMS. La philosophie de la zéro séparation repose sur l'intégration des soins maternels et néonatals, la présence continue de la mère et d'un accompagnant de son choix en néonatologie, les soins maternels qu'en groupe, les petits poids de naissance, mais aussi la méthode peau à peau et la mise au sein précoce dès les premières 24 heures. La zéro séparation, c'est donc une prise en charge multidisciplinaire qui va faire intervenir des pédiatres, des médecins généralistes, des infirmiers, des psychologues, des assistants nutritionnels, des agents de l'engagement communautaire, mais aussi des travailleurs sociaux. Dans ce concours de dissertation scientifique, nous avons voulu partager comment la synergie d'action entre la zéro séparation et les soins palliatifs ont pu amener nos équipes à passer d'une hiérarchisation verticale où le médecin des fois était considéré à tort comme étant le détenteur du savoir vers un leadership collaboratif professionnel. Cette synergie d'action entre la zéro séparation et les soins palliatifs nous ont permis de recentrer les familles au centre de nos soins et surtout les petits poids de naissance, de leur offrir un peu plus de dignité dans la prise en charge médicale. Nous espérons que cette expérience que nous partageons ici pourra servir à inspirer d'autres structures et nous vous remercions.
Such a wonderful, wonderful video. Congratulations once again. Dr. John, we will hand over back to you to announce our second winner.
Thank you, Tasmin. Encore, si Ariane Herrera, félicitations, c'est très mouvement et je suis persuadé vraiment. Merci pour votre courage, courage de tout. Merci beaucoup. The next, can we move now to Kara? Still on same. Oh, yes. Yeah, it comes. Yes, our next winner, English part is Abriato. I believe I spelled that if it is not the right way, but again, Abriato Nanda from Zambian Medical is a Zambian medical doctor with a degree from Jiangsu University, postgraduate diploma in neonatology from Zambia College of Medicine and Surgery, hospital in Lusaka, NICU, with a dedication to improving the standards of neonatal care in Zambia. Absolutely, there is no doubt with this summary that describes you, Mukanda. Your essay is very touching, especially when you talk about creating collaborative neonatal team centered on families. It cannot be well articulated given the context we put behind with what we need to do. And that's something I agree with you in your essay that it has to be a paradigm shift, and you have well articulated it into your essay. So congratulations again, and I look more forward to more articles from you. The next slide, please. As we congratulate Dr. Mukanda.
Hi, my name is Mukanda Nabulyato. I'm a Zambian medical doctor with an MBBS degree that I attained from China in 2018 at the Jiangsu University. From there on, I moved back to Zambia, where I worked as a medical doctor. Up until 2022, I decided to join the postgraduate diploma in neonatology at the Women and Newborn Hospital under the University Teaching Hospital, which is the largest hospital and the referral center in the country. And there I joined the NICU, and I loved it. It made me gain an experience in mentorship and trainings in different aspects concerning neonatal health and well-being, together with the mothers, because obviously we can't have a neonate without a mother. So with that being said, the essay just brought about something that is rarely spoken about, which is hierarchies within the NICU. It can really affect neonatal care, and that's why different professional backgrounds need to come together so that we can be able to break that chain of having hierarchies. Because even when you enter the NICU, our NICU, obviously, different NICUs could be the same, but in our NICU, you take off your lab coat. So you're leaving behind your profession, your crown, if I can say it, and you leave it behind. And when you enter the NICU, everybody is one, so we work together. If there's a problem that occurs within the NICU, someone's baby is obviously needing resuscitation, we all rush together and work together. So if this essay is going to be a voice, I am really excited for it, because I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to air out my views, and it resonated within me that this is very important, that we work together, we train together, different professional backgrounds, obstetricians, neonatologists, pediatricians, biomeds. We need to find a way to get to work together and make sure that every baby that's within the NICU gets discharged. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
Wonderful.
Some powerful
Thank you so
words.
much again, Dr. Mukanda, for amazing job. And I think there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Please go ahead, Tasmin.
Thank you so much, Dr. John Baptiste. Congratulations to our two winners. Your forward thinking really was amazing to see and to witness, and we can't wait for everybody else to read the essays. It was amazing. And now I am going to pass the baton back over to Lauren to let us know, please may we change the slide? Thank you so much, to let us know what are our next steps going forward. Over to you, Lauren.
Thanks, Tasmin. So congratulations to the winners. Very well done. So up next, we're going to talk about our goals for the next year and a little bit of a sneak peek of what we have upcoming. So building on our existing progress, we're hoping to expand our content, including more tools. So we welcome you to share your tools, submit your tools on the Toolkit website. We really want to profile up-to-date evidence and make sure we can really translate that evidence into impact. We also want to make systems complexity doable. So health systems change, as you can see on the cog, requires all these different components and can be very complex. So we hope to kind of streamline that process and help make that system complexity doable, and we can implement that complexity. And that's highlighted through things like our implementation action pathways that bring together all this different evidence. Building on our webinars, so we'll continue our webinar series in the next year, and we really want to also showcase you and kind of highlight that cross-country learning elements through different languages and different countries, and make sure that we can all go faster together. More multilingual language accessibility, so looking at how we can enable AI options and also allow evidence availability in more languages. So we discussed some inequities in French languages, and Portuguese is another main one, and Spanish. So we're looking at kind of expanding our access to evidence across different languages. And we also would really like to continue to profile global implementers of small and sick newborn care. So if you're interested in partaking in our blog series, you can check out our latest blogs on our news on the Newborn Toolkit site. We would love to showcase things that are being done globally for small and sick newborn care, and share that more broadly within the community. Next slide, please. So highlighting some action pathways, so we discussed that a bit earlier. We'll have our jaundice management action pathway launched towards the end of this year. And please feel free to reach out with other ideas or partnerships on pathway expansion. And also expanding our languages. So we're excited that we're currently working on expanding the technical terms glossaries for newborn care to Portuguese. So that will be announced earlier in 2026, and we're hoping to kind of continue momentum with this and continue access to evidence in Portuguese. Next slide. And a big part of the toolkit and the success of the toolkit is the community. And that includes you, everyone on this webinar, all of our global community of users. So we really would love to have feedback from you about what sort of things you find useful in the Newborn Toolkit, maybe areas or evidence gaps that we could work to improve. And what tools or other learning opportunities would you like to see, and how we can partner with you to facilitate that knowledge exchange process among our community. So we'll just leave this up for a moment. So if you want to provide some of that feedback, you can scan the QR code and share some insights into what else we can do to help us go faster for newborns globally. Next slide. So I'll pass back to Tasmin if we have any other questions.
Thank you so much, Lauren. May we move to the next slide, please? Okay, we want to just mention again the final webinar that is coming up to close off this year, which I feel is a very important one, actually. Not like any of the others haven't been, but I think it's a discussion, especially for low and middle income countries, that we really need to have a look at. So please, guys, register, join it. It will be on the 2nd of December. And it's going to be talking about infrastructure. Do we refurbish or do we rebuild? So I can't wait to hear the lovely gems that are going to come out of that. Next slide, please. Once again, we want to say thank you to everybody that took the time out to join us today. It is lovely to see how the Newborn Toolkit is growing, but it's also so wonderful to see the cross collaboration that is happening. Rome was not built in a day, and neither was it built alone. So it takes a village. It really does, especially when dealing with small and sick newborns. I'm so excited for the future of newborn care, especially in Africa. You guys are making my heart so proud. Using the toolkit, collaborating, working with new interventions, and using the resources that we have at hand. I absolutely love it. Next slide, please. We would also want to take a moment to say a big thank you to all the sponsors, to all our collaborators, to everybody that has made this day possible and continues to make all the webinars possible. And especially a huge thank you to the Paulo Chiesi Foundation, who is sponsoring our essay winners and sponsored this as well. We are so grateful. Things like this are not possible without a multi-stakeholder collaboration. So we thank you. Happy World Prematurity Day again, and let's continue to make a change for newborn and maternal health care. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you at the next one. Bye, everybody.